Welcome into Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh. With me, of course, Real Talk Wrestling. Chris over here in Miami Clutch. He is the poster boy of Netflix today. I love it. I'm excited for it. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm actually excited for a streaming service because I don't have a DVR in my room, and now I don't have to be pressured to watch on demand or try to catch it live. I can just turn on Netflix the next day. It's going to be exciting. So
Would
what's
you
going
just
on, guys?
say would you say that you're so excited and you just can't hide it?
Oh man.
Yes, and I like that intro, so you can't make me make fun of that. That's the one good thing AEW's done in a little bit.
Really, you're one of the few from what I'm seeing
I think
online.
I think it's some,
People hate it.
you know,
Like right before the show, I was just, I logged into Twitter to get the link to come on here, and my feed was just filled with people saying, "Here, I made a better intro for this." And they're just dropping it, and different people, just different accounts, and that's like what's trending right now is just make a better intro than what they picked there. But you like the song.
I like
You
the
like it for
song.
wrestling? I do like the song, but I don't know. Is it a wrestling song?
To
A wrestling
me,
intro song?
well, we spoke about wrestling music in Clutch. We've talked about this. It's like Raw uses like rap music now and hip hop, or like is this
Yeah.
to me? It's if it's not heavy metal rock, because I grew up in the '90s, like that's what wrestling was back then. Then it's like, then who cares then? Because if it's NF doing it or if it's this song, to me, it's like neither of those are wrestling. So if that's the way we're going and we're going away from hard rock, I like the upbeat, like, woohoo, we're going to have a good time.
Okay.
But to me, I mean, again, if it's not hard rock, like whatever. AEW, anyway, they haven't even used an intro. It's always just like 8 o'clock hits and they're there. There's no anything. They haven't done that in a while. It's always been just
No.
cold opens.
See, I thought you were going to hate it just for the fact of you wanting your hard rock intros and the fact that Raw got away with it. You didn't like that.
Didn't. Well, I mean, Clutch, how do you feel about it? We didn't ask you yet. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I grew up on like the Raw where it's like to be loved and those kind of songs. I don't know if you remember those, but like that era where it was just I don't know, like I forgot the lyrics, like where it's like dun 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 dun, dun. Like I grew up on that, and like it doesn't give you much, but like let's say 2005 to like 2009 ish, and like the Raw music was so good, and SmackDown too, and like now we're getting to like hip hop, which I like too, and I think it works sometimes. I think the theme song they're putting for Netflix Raw is pretty good actually. I just want to see it like in action, but I think it's gonna be good. It's not rock, but I think it's gonna be good. I'm a fan of like all types of music as long as it fits. So yeah.
Well, Chris, you can attest. I grew up listening to all music, pretty much country, rap, all of it. Like the music, just like you said, Clutch. Anything could work as long as it fits. When they use Elton John, Saturday Night Collision, people loved it. Remember that, Chris? People were in love with that. That was awesome. Now they do something similar where it's like kind of off the beaten path. It's kind of like upbeat. It's kind of different. Now people hate people. It's just fun. It's cool to hate AEW, and that's what it is. It used to be cool to hate WWE. It used to be fun, but now it's anything AEW puts out there, no matter what, even if it's good. Guys, there's been good stuff in AEW in the past couple weeks. Even if it's good, people will still hate on it because it's a cool thing to do now. Hating on AEW is popular. And no matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter what they book, people are going to clown them. They will. So that's where we're at.
We've all been against them whenever they turned heel.
When was the turning point, Chris? Well, I think I know my answer. I know my answer. I can
give your answer. I don't know. I don't have a definitive point. It's been a slow burn for me.
When Cody left and Tony Khan put out that media release where he's like head booker, CEO, COO, like where he listed all of his accolades or his titles at the very bottom of it. You probably don't even know about that. That was to me is like what a piece of shit.
I would say actually, sadly, the CM Punk departure where he did the thing where he said he was scared for his life, and then showing the clip, the back. Remember that? Like at that point, I think that's where I'm going to pinpoint AEW's heel turn.
That was hilarious for me, by the way, when he showed the clip. like it was going to be some revealing thing, but it ended up proving every single point that CM Punk made true.
Yep.
Hilarious.
That was the point right there. I think where a lot of us just kind of said, okay,
So
it's not 2021 anymore, 2020, any of that stuff. So,
well, speaking of that, I do have trivia. We're going to get into the trivia right now because it goes on with old AEW. It's now on Max. That was a big thing. Although I went to Max today, I called out of work, not feeling great. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't watch Dynamite this week, but it's on Max now. I'm going to go check it out. So they only have 2019 Dynamites and 2024 Dynamites.
Yep.
Nowhere in between. Nothing else exists, but they have Christmas Day Dynamite, but they did not have Dynamite from this past Wednesday. Not upload. It's now Friday, January 3rd, and Wednesday was the 1st, and that's when that aired. I'm not sure if they're going to do this all the time. I thought they'd be ready like next day. I don't understand.
I wonder if they have to do some sort of a waiting period. With
they simulcast it. You could have watched it live on Max.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day, which I was surprised. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that. Was that a special one-off, or is that the way it is now?
No, that's the way it is now.
Okay,
that's the way it is.
All the more reason for me to cancel my TV.
Exactly. So okay, and so I sat there and watched a pay-per-view this morning. I watched the full pay-per-view of 2019 Double or Nothing from Las Vegas.
Yes, I noticed.
How do you notice?
Because I logged in today. I wanted to see what they had on the library.
Okay.
And it showed that you were watching it, because I know that wasn't me that was watching it yet, since I got
I cut it off at the main event, Jericho and Omega. So I have some trivia from that pay-per-view specifically because I watched it. No, hold on. It's not like, from that pay-per-view. It's just about AEW. Okay. Clutch.
Okay. I was about to say, because I didn't. That was the only pay-per-view.
Oh, you didn't watch?
No, I didn't, because that was before they went live on TV, right? That was like 2 pay-per-views.
That was their very first.
That was their
very first pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, when we didn't really know what it was, I didn't buy into it just yet. So that I have actually never seen that one. I was excited to see that's on there. I'm gonna actually go back and watch it.
Okay.
Kind of remind me of what the product used to be.
I watched the entire thing except for up to Kenny Omega and Jericho because I remember that match very well. So I didn't watch that. I watched literally the entire thing, didn't skip anything. So I have some trivia for both of you if you can answer this. So Chris, they were very adamant about women are equal to men. Women are going to get the same pay as men. So who was the very first woman? And this is, by the way, this is the first ever AEW show period. Dynamite, Rampage, pay-per-view. So this is the very first women's match. Who was the very first woman entrant into a match? Like, who was the first person to say their name, they're coming out for a match? Do you remember who it was?
Nope, not a clue. Is it some obscure wrestler, or is it a well-known wrestler?
If you watch Tuesday Night, you might know who she is.
If I watch Tuesday Night?
If you watch Tuesday Night, I think she's on NXT right now.
Tuesday Night.
I think she's on NXT right now. She's a name I know. If I say the name, you'll go, oh, her, and you probably wouldn't know who she is. Clutch would. Clutch knows who this person is.
So then how am I supposed to answer this trivia question?
I'm just saying that they were hyping up these women. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. So this is you're doing exactly what you just said everyone does. Back to AEW. All right, go ahead. Let's hear it. Who is
Kylie Rae.
Oh, wow.
Kylie Rae was the first ever woman to be announced to come out from the back for her match. It was a triple threat match. So that's
against who?
That was my next question. Who was the other 2 women in the triple threat match that opened up AEW? This is the second ever match, by the way, ever in history, which I'm going to ask you the first one soon. So, all right, it's Kylie Rae. You got to think, Chris. Think about the old days. Think about the biggest signing they had at the moment. Their biggest woman. Technically, yes, the biggest woman, and yes, the other biggest woman. I'll give you those 2 hints.
Was it was Nyla Rose one of them?
That's one of them. That's one of the biggest women.
And then is the other one someone who was really only there in the beginning and then gone?
She's still here.
Is it Britt Baker?
It's Britt Baker.
Okay.
Hey, look, I got one. I'm so proud of myself.
But hold on. Special entrance. Brandy came out and she's like, oh, we're making, I told y'all, blah, blah. She just starts. She's, oh God, makes me, a woman that pretty shouldn't be that so fucking annoying. But she announces a fourth member making a fatal 4-way match. You will never get this. Awesome Kong. And that was
That's why I was saying, is the person still around or not? Because
Yeah.
I thought I remember her being around in the beginning.
All right. So those are the first two questions. There's only 3 more to go. These will be easier. How many times did Cody Rhodes cry when he wrestled Dustin?
How many times?
That's a real question. Yeah. How many times did he cry when he wrestled Dustin?
I'm gonna go 4.
Nope. This should be
3.
No. Okay. He cried at the beginning when Dustin pointed to the sky, and then Cody's like, and then he pointed at the very end, which everyone should know this. This is a famous line. I got a match with the Young Bucks that fight for the phone, and I could choose anyone I want. And he's like, he started saying all this stuff like, I don't need a partner, because he was a heel. He was a heel during this match, by the way. I don't need a partner. I don't need a friend. I need a brother. He starts crying. You don't remember that?
Oh no, I don't. Oh, so that's where the Cody Crybaby started, huh?
2019. That was a great match, by the way. That was a great match. Go back and watch that match, which I know you will. All right, and then this is the second to last question. Hangman Page won the Battle Royale to face the winner of Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, which you saw live for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I did.
Who did Hangman beat? Who did he throw out last in that Battle Royale?
Can you give us a multiple choice?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, I'm just making names up right now, MJF, or Christopher Daniels. MJF. He threw out Luchasaurus. He thought he won. MJF came out from under the ring because he was never eliminated.
Yep.
And then Hangman knocked him out. And the last question, there were 28 competitors.
Name all 28.
No.
Yeah.
You're never going to do that.
In order in which they came out.
There's 28. More or less? Is there, like, let's say, okay, the cutoff is 14 and a half. Over, under, how many people are still there? Still there today. Still there. I'll put the line at 14 and a half.
Less.
It's less. There's 13. There was only 13 people. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Ray Phoenix, Nick and Matt, Dustin, Sheeta, Riho. I put a question mark because Riho shows up like once a year. Trent, I put a question mark because I don't know. Chuck Taylor, we saw him get killed. He still works there. Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Christopher Daniels. Go back and watch that show, Clutch. I think you would enjoy it.
The 29.
It's on Max.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and watch that. So you're done watching it then?
I'm not gonna go back and watch the Jericho match. No.
Okay. I was actually about to start it before the show, but I saw it was in the middle. So I was like, nope, I don't want to ruin the spot that you're at right now.
I stopped right before the Jericho match. So
okay. I'm going to rewind it and go back and watch that one then. Because I never watched that one. I missed that one.
All right. So Clutch, if you have Max, I really seriously highly recommend watching those older ones. Because if you have Max, why not? If you want my password, I can give it to you. I have no problem with that. So I'm just saying,
you can see like prime AEW when it was actually good and worth your time.
The crowd was hot. People were excited. The wrestlers were getting reactions. It was just crazy.
The only bad thing about it was the tag matches were very sloppy, right, Josh? It would drive Josh wild because they never truly tagged in. They just walked in.
They had the debut of the Dark Order, and that was a very low light of the show. Just a warning, Chris. Just a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the new wrestling, new times. Did you hear about this, Clutch? WWE wants to move more PLEs to 2 nights.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Are you into it?
There's certain PLEs where I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Like for the Rumble specifically, because okay, 2 different Rumble matches, 2 Rumble matches in one night can be a little much sometimes. Mm-hmm. So you can spread it out that way, cool. But if you do, for example, like I don't know, Money in the Bank or something, I don't think that's necessary. So I can make the case that like the Royal Rumble makes more sense than SummerSlam does, and they're already announced SummerSlam for it. So yeah. What's
going on, Justin? What do you think about the thing, Chris? A 2-night? Would you be? Because I was just on with Bobby on Saturday night. I complained because we booked the Royal Rumbles, and I'm like, I had this thought, I'm like, this shouldn't have 2 on one night. It's too much. Same thing for Money in the Bank. Same thing for Elimination Chamber, War Games. When you have too many, it's too much for me. It'd be awesome though to have a Saturday night and Sunday night. Who's gonna make? Is the men's gonna go on Saturday night? Is the men's gonna go on Sunday night? Like that'd be awesome. I'd be all down for that. And it gives you more people to perform. What do you feel about that?
I think if you're going to move to 2 nights, I like it just being Mania right now because makes it feel like your biggest show, right? That's one of the things that makes it feel biggest. But yeah, I get it because the Rumbles are such long matches and it kind of leaves you no time for anything else. And that kind of really kicks off your WrestleMania season. So I guess we could do the Rumble that way and maybe SummerSlam. Anything else beyond that, though, it's just getting to be too much. Oh, it'd be too much. Like, do we need? I don't know. See, I'm torn on stuff like Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank. I guess Money in the Bank works as a pay-per-view, but Elimination Chamber, Hell in a Cell pay-per-views sometimes those don't feel like they should be pay-per-views, like staple. Like they should when the story lends itself, especially Hell in a Cell, right? So at least your 3 biggest pay-per-views, I wouldn't put it anything more than that, having a 2-night show. Since I don't want every one of them to start moving towards 2-night shows. That's too much time.
So I'm all for, not all, but the big, if you're going to continue to have Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view, which I'm with you, Chris. I think Money in the Bank should be a match in a specific pay-per-view. Let's say you have it at WrestleMania. Let's say you have it, it's going to kick off, like we have traditions in all sports and all of things and all of society. Hey, night 1 of WrestleMania, we're going to kick off the men's Money in the Bank. Night 2 of WrestleMania, we're going to kick off the women's. That's how we kick off WrestleMania for all of time.
Who says that they have to be on the same pay-per-view?
That too. That could be.
Why can't one be at Mania, one at SummerSlam, one at just a random pay-per-view? Hey, we're going to set up the women, the men's or the women's Money in the Bank, and their calendar year starts now. It's going to be separate from the other one.
I'm down with that. I have no problem with that, but I prefer it to be something tied into WrestleMania though, because I think that's important. Like, I won my shot. I've had my WrestleMania moment. I won my Money in the Bank, but I understand what you're saying too. Now for Elimination Chamber, that's on the roadmap to WrestleMania. Now, Clutch, would you be okay with them going, you know what? The Chamber, we've used it for 10 years, 15 years. It no longer needs to be the road to WrestleMania. They can just earn that spot the way they would earn it with the storyline. Right? People that didn't win the Rumble. Yeah. So maybe that could be a thing where like, oh no, we're going to have an Elimination Chamber like once every 3 years or whatever. Make it special like Hell in a Cell. Again.
I mean, yeah, it used to be like that forever, no? Like they used to do Elimination Chambers in SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
Yep.
I don't know. Like things like that. So yeah, you don't need it to be that. Plus there's other ways to get to WrestleMania than win the Chambers match. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Chamber match having its own specific PLE. You can just do a fast lane. You can do back then it was No Way Out, and it's like a theme. You can do like a cage match or something instead of just a chamber, and then just leave the chamber for the really, really important ones where it's like 6 high level competitors fighting for a championship.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's the way I would prefer. Now Royal Rumble though, I think that should go 2 nights. Because as I was booking the match with Bobby, I'm like, you have time for 1 women's and 1 men's, and then like maybe 2 matches in between. So you're leaving out. The way I booked my show, I left out the women's. I didn't have a woman on my show except for the Rumble, because I'm not going to put a women's match on there when I have Cody Rhodes at my disposal, and we know it's going to be Cody and Kevin Owens now. So that second match, it's got to be someone of importance. You can't just put, no offense, but you can't just put Jade versus who. You just can't do a women's match. It wouldn't make it. It just sucks. Like, let's put it out. To me, it just like whatever. So if you have 2 nights, you can have the women's Rumble headline and the men's Rumble headline with like 3 matches before that, and it gives you more. And sports do it all the time. NHL All-Star Game, it's 2 nights. I went to both of them. NBA All-Star Game, 2 nights. Like it's okay to have 2 nights. You don't have to attend both as a fan. You can just pick and choose which one you want to go to. And plus, if everything's on the network or on Peacock or on Netflix or wherever it's going to be, you don't have to watch them that night. You can just watch them whenever you feel like. So I don't know. I think it's better for the talent because I feel bad for the women's. They're gonna go on first, and whoever wins is gonna win, and no one's gonna remember or care because they don't get that to close a show. They deserve to close a show too. That's just my feeling.
Yep.
Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. I don't know, man. But anyway, you guys excited for Netflix?
Yes, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Like,
All the more reason to cancel my TV.
You went on a big rant about that, which I don't blame.
I did. Clutch missed it.
I'd like to hear
It's
it.
too much. It's. I said I'm done. I'm done with TV because they're raising the price. YouTube TV is what I have. It was like $50 a month when I switched, or $60 a month, and they announced every year they just keep shooting it up like $10 or $15, and it's now going to be like almost $90 a month. And I was like, you know what? The only thing I have it for now is to watch wrestling. Once the football season's over, I have TV to watch wrestling because any shows that come on TV, they're all on Netflix or Peacock or wherever else. So really, wrestling was the only reason I've kept TV this long. And now that it's going to be on Max and Netflix, there's really no point in keeping cable TV anymore.
I don't know. Are you Clutch? Are you choppy, or is that Chris? Or is it me? Am I choppy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
It must be me because I heard half of what Chris said, but I heard it last week. And Justin Toner in the chat did confirm that you can watch Peacock SmackDown on Peacock the day after. So Chris, you don't need cable anymore at all.
No, forget
Perfect.
it. No more TV.
No more TV. But I'm excited because we have a huge, as we see Clutch's poster over here. Let me ask you, Clutch. Big matches on Raw coming up Monday night. Big matches. What closes the show? CM Punk and Seth, or the whole Bloodline situation? What do you think?
It's going to be telling because the only way I see the Bloodline closing the show is if Rock comes out. And if he doesn't, then it should definitely be CM Punk and Seth because they've been given quite a short time to do this feud, which you thought it was going to be WrestleMania, and it ended up being for this show. But they've done a great job. I'm fully into it. And it only took them less than 2 weeks to get me absolutely hooked into it because whenever they're on the mic with each other, they just hot fire every time.
Yes. Have you seen any of this, Chris? Have you seen any of Seth and CM Punk's interactions? Dude,
Not
it's
yet. I
good.
told you I'm full on board on Monday. That's the other thing Clutch missed is I said I'm kind of pretty much done with AEW for now. I'll be full on WWE come Monday night on Netflix. I'll be watching it live every week, so I'll be full in on the stories.
At least on Mondays, which is good because I think Monday's the better show right now. As I have a huge rant planned for SmackDown. My visit to SmackDown was not great. I left.
I've been waiting for this since you put it in the group chat. I've been waiting to hear.
It's not, it's not that bad. It's just. And I don't want to yell, but what a waste of my time. Did you watch SmackDown last week, Clutch? I know you said you were busy.
No, I did not.
You didn't miss anything. But let's get back to Raw.
Okay.
Let's get back to Raw real quick. So it's what you expect with Seth and Punk. Them getting into the face and taking cheap shots. Or you went to the other company and took a bigger paycheck, and look how that turned out. CM Punk. I never said I didn't. I hated this place. I hated the person that was the boss, and they're just going after it back and forth. They need to main event the show. That's their show. They're on Raw. I think they need to main event the show. I think they need to open with Roman and what's his face, Solo. I think that's the lesser match in my opinion. But that's just me though, because I'm just so done with the Bloodline. I think I'm exhausted with the Bloodline. I can't do it anymore. But if The Rock comes out, it's probably going to be the main event. Are you going to pop hard for The Rock, Chris?
Oh yeah, you know it. Always going to pop for The Rock.
Do you think he's going to be there, Clutch? We've been thinking Survivor Series he'll show up, or here he'll show up here, he'll show up there. Do we finally see him?
I was thinking Survivor Series for sure, and now we're thinking Netflix for sure, and I feel like it's just being kicked down the road. And in my head, the logical thing now that the match is set for the Rumble being a ladder match and a possible way to fuck with Cody, sorry Bobby, would be if Mel hitting as he's about to grab the title or as he grabs it. And I'm putting myself at the Rumble now with The Rock. And I hate that I keep pushing it back, but yeah.
I saw somewhere, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I read this somewhere wrong, but Rock is just going to enter the Rumble, the very last person, like declare himself as the last person, maybe kick the person, like the 30th person's ass and win it, and so he can face Cody. So I don't see him screwing Cody, but that could be a possibility. Do you think Kevin Owens has a chance, though? Because if The Rock comes out and screws Cody or the music comes out, that means Kevin Owens is walking away with that title. That'd be pretty cool. Like, I would be so down for that. That'd be awesome. But I don't think that happens. Maybe. No?
But I don't. Yeah, you're right about that because Rock, if he comes to Cody, he's coming for the title. I mean, he said it to Raw after Mania, like he wants that. He wants to hold it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing though. The last time we saw Rock, he gave something to Cody. We don't know what it was. We have assumptions of what it was. There was rumors about it was a lighter or it was a watch or whatever it may be. And then that's the last time we've seen him. So if Rock comes back, it's kind of like an AEW situation where you can't book him to come back and they just forget about the storyline that just happened. So you just need to insert him back into Cody. So I don't see him coming back for Rock, or not Rock. Keep on calling Roman Rock. Roman and Solo yet. It doesn't make sense for him to, because the last thing we saw Rock do was confront Cody, not Roman, not Solo. So I think we see this Cody situation first. I think Rock's probably going to win the Rumble. But, they're saying Cody versus Cena at WrestleMania. That's a possibility as well. Would you guys rather see The Rock and Cody or Cena and Cody?
The Rock and Cody. It makes more sense for what they had already built.
I mean, yeah, there's already a story there. I mean, with with Cena and Cody, you have the whole former face of the company and the new face of the company thing, but you have a story already. It's The Rock and Cody. So yeah, I'd rather see that. And you can still have, and in my dream thing would be just have Cena and Gunther or something like that.
I don't like Cena going after a secondary title. Sorry, Gunther. Sorry, Seth. I see Cena going for the WWE title. The main title for the show is actually the one that Cody has. Secondary titles for the secondary people like Damian Priest or Gunther, Braun Breaker when he wins it. I just don't see him going for that, but I would love that. I would love a Gunther match. That'd be what I want to see. People are calling for, Randy Orton and Cody at WrestleMania. That'd be fun too. It's going to be so much to set up, but I definitely see Rock winning the Rumble, and I see Cody and Rock, and I think that's where we go, and it's unfortunate. I truly think. I also think we see Goldberg and Gunther at WrestleMania. I think that's the direction they're going to go. All those rumors of Gunther coming back, Chris, you didn't. Goldberg, yeah. Clutch, you heard that, right?
I haven't heard that. Oh,
yeah,
that would be awful. No.
They're talking about it.
Ric Flair wants to come back too. Let's throw him in there. Triple threat.
Yeah.
You see
Why
that?
not?
He wants to come back for one more match.
No, he does not.
He says he's got one more in him. That Ric Flair one more match, that picture is circulating where he's standing in the corner next to the turnbuckle that says one more match. And he looks awful. That was that was 2.5 years ago. And now he's saying he thinks he's got one more in him. Let's throw him in this one with Goldberg.
So, Keisha, my wife, she was looking on the Instagrams or whatever, and she's like, "Look, one of my friends met Ric Flair a couple nights ago," and she showed me the picture. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Where were they at? Whatever. He was over here. Rick, Rick's always over somewhere.
He's out everywhere in Tampa, man.
If you're out drinking, you'll see Rick eventually. Like if you go out 100 nights in a row, you will run into Ric Flair. Hell, if you go out 20 nights in a row, you will run into Ric Flair."
My buddy runs into him. He's not in Tampa very often anymore these days, but I swear every time he goes out, he runs into him. You can go find his boat down at the bay. It's easy to find his boat.
So I'd never seen his boat, but I heard
it's easy to find. Yeah, it's on.
By the
It's
Woo.
along.
Yeah.
It's along River Walk. I could point a map and I could show you exactly where to go where he parks it.
Okay, I've never seen it or looked for it. But anyway, my wife's like, "Man, look at Ric Flair. Doesn't he look good?" I'm like, "You think I look good? So like, what the fuck? Like that guy looks like death. So what the hell do I look like?"
He looks so bad.
That guy looks like the Crypt Keeper. Like, what are you talking about? It looks good. But
Yeah.
that's just my funny my Ric Flair story. No, we don't need to see him wrestle again. That'd be ridiculous. Although he was the most over person on SmackDown, by the way. He wasn't even there. Just before the show, everyone going, "Woo!" That's the biggest pop we heard all night. Or Corey Graves. Yeah, Corey Graves or Ric Flair. That's the biggest pop of the night from SmackDown.
I'm gonna send you guys a screenshot in our group chat of Ric Flair from his last match. And he's added, and that was 2.5 years ago. Okay.
Didn't he have a heart attack in the ring?
I don't
Who do you wrestle? Wasn't it Jay Lethal? Wasn't Jay Lethal with him a tag
think
partner?
so. I think
And
so.
Ric Flair just laid on the apron the whole time?
Take a look at that picture from his last match with the turnbuckle there. Now add 2.5 years to that.
Oh my!
He wants to jump back in the ring.
He's got it, man. He can do it. He's a champ. He's the world champ. All right, back on the Netflix era because I'm excited for it. Is there anything else planned for the Netflix era Clutch that you're excited for, especially for this January 6th Monday Night Raw?
I'm excited that they're gonna have it seems like they're gonna have some surprises in store. I mean, one is kind of already spoiled because they got put in the promo, but seems like Becky's coming back that day. Plus the match is already announced. I'm happy that we're having an end to Rhea and Liv finally. And I think it's the last woman standing, so definitive. And
it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've kind of stacked the card for that. And then obviously it's not even a match, but just having Cena back and the start of his retirement tour is going to be so good. So yeah, those things. Oh, also, have you guys seen the Penta going to WWE? They have his promo packages for him.
You notice how
I saw the graphic.
You notice I didn't put Penta in my. He's part of the lesser people that were on that first card because he did wrestle that night. Yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him to go into the WWE. When does he debut? Is he going to debut on January 6th, or is he getting held off to the Rumble? What's going on, Clutch? Do you know?
The way they've been building up, because it's been 3 weeks of promo packages and little teases, and it's just gotten to the point where the last one is just showing his mask in the graphics, so it's just blatantly obvious at this point.
Yep.
And if they're going that route, which they did for example, for the Motor City Machine Guns, that would indicate to me that he's gonna debut on the Netflix debut. So
that'd be dope.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I wonder if anyone's gonna care.
Apparently, I remember seeing somewhere on Twitter that they were showing a arena video of the promo package, and when it showed the mask graphic, that the arena popped. So I have hopes for it. So we'll see.
They're like, the Parker's coming back. I don't know. I don't know. I miss, when I talk AEW with any of my friends that watch wrestling, no one knows who any of these people are. I can ask you, Clutch, I can ask you. I'm like, hey man, do you see that? You might know names, but you don't know who they are, right? You couldn't tell me probably in a lineup who these people are. Same way I am with with soccer players. I know the name Ronaldo, but I have no clue who this guy is. Couldn't tell you what he looked like. You know what I mean? So people are probably the same way. They've heard Penta. It's like when Kenny Omega was coming over here. We've heard of Kenny Omega, but unless you're watching his New Japan stuff, you don't know who Chris probably didn't know who Kenny Omega was until he wrestled Chris Jericho the first time. Matter of fact, that's the first Kenny Omega match I watched, was that Chris Jericho match in the Tokyo Dome. So I wonder if when Penta comes over here, if he's going to get a reaction. AJ Styles did. People knew who he was, which I was surprised. I didn't really get the vibe that people knew about the Motor City Machine Guns. Clutch, you watched that show live. Was it a huge pop?
It wasn't, because I don't know, because I guess the theme song is so like bland, and they were like, okay, what's this? And then they came out and it kind of got a little bit louder, but not as much. So I don't know. For AJ and the Rumble, like you heard the pop and you knew the exact point of the pop because on the screen the word phenomenal popped up and everybody knew
Yep.
right away. So I guess Penta in a way is a little bit more recognizable than the Motor City Machine Guns because he has his own branding, the Cero Miedo and all that. So maybe it's kind of a 50-50 wait and see for me on that.
I think him coming in without Ray Phoenix is going to make Ray Phoenix so over when he comes. Like, if they book Penta right and they book him where he needs help or he's getting beat down or he has a mystery partner or whatever, and we're waiting for Ray Phoenix. Like, I think Ray Phoenix pop is going to be massive because, first off, the smart fans are wanting him to get out of his contract. Secondly, if you're going to love Penta, you're going to love Ray Phoenix. Chris, I know you wanted to say something.
I was going to say I don't want to see it. I wouldn't want to see the mystery partner because then I think that would clue us in on when he's coming. I always like. I don't like the pre-announced. I like just you're watching the show and they just show up. I know they like to pre-announce things to get eyes on the product to drive ratings, so I understand why they do it. But I love when it just happens. And so I think at a time when it's not obvious where he is getting beat down and the announcers don't say something crazy like, who back there will come help him? Who's going to save him? Like, it just needs to be like he's getting beat down for a little bit. And then all of a sudden this music hits that nobody knows. And then he comes running out. And I think that would get a huge pop that way.
So you're telling me when Matt Hardy was getting beat down in the ring, and then we heard Jeff Hardy's music come out, and he's running to the ring. He's like, "Hold on, dude. You want to see that?"
That was the best save in the world that I've ever seen. That'll go down as an all-time great save. Jeff Hardy running out to save his brother, but has to stop and hit a dance move for a minute first. No, I want to see him legitimately come out because just hit his music and him come running out. I don't want to see him a mystery like with a hoodie on out of the crowd. No, I want to hear his music hit. Maybe in his video package you have his name up there so people know who it is. Because I don't know if he's going to have like a whole different mask or something that's going to look different or whatever. So have him his music hit, have his name in the Titantron, and have him come running out quickly and come save Penta. I think that'd be the perfect way to debut him once he finally gets over there.
It's just the only person he could save them from is if like Rey Mysterio's beating him up because he's so little. Like, are you really going to believe this 5'5" man is going to help Penta? And Penta's way bigger than him. I don't know. You got to figure something out how they're going to debut him. I bet you they do the mystery partner just because that gets pops too. Like, that still gets pops. But I like your idea. I prefer that idea as well, Chris. Trust me.
I think it's more exciting than the mystery partner because at that point, when Penta all of a sudden has a tag match in 6 to 9 months from now, he has a tag match with a mystery partner. We're all going to know what's up.
Or maybe we do a situation where he's tagging with someone from the LWO, and then all of a sudden they just steal the Jade Cargill situation. And someone beats up that LWO guy. We find out it's Phoenix, and then they turn heel. Because they're a better heel. I don't care what anyone says. I like them as heels. Anyway, moving forward, Clutch, you have anything else on that one?
For Penta specifically, and
the whole situation. What's your take on that? Mystery partner? You want the run-in?
I don't know how you would debut him. I'm leaning towards what kind of you said. He's teaming probably with Ray or some of the LWO guys. Taken out, he needs help. His brother comes out. Everybody's happy, but in general, I'm personally excited just to see Penta in WWE because his look is so different from what you're used to seeing. And if WWE does it right, and they usually do, he's like marketing gold for them. like you can have the masks, you can have the slogan, you can have everything.
I think you're using one Rey Mysterio and saying successful. They haven't been successful with the Luchador or the mask since Rey Mysterio, in my opinion.
Lucha House Party.
No, I
Let's not
I
be
hope,
so quick to
but
forget.
hold on. That was Vince. I got to give Triple
It
H
was.
like
It was.
I got to give Triple
That's
H
what I was
credit
about to get to. Is we got to give Triple H his shot.
because Sin Cara flopped. Nakamura, any international star that Vince brought in, they killed. Like they had a good thing going on with Kozlov even back in the day. Remember him, the Russian dude, and then he was like a killer. You don't remember him, Kozlov?
Nope.
Yeah.
He was going for the world title. He wrestled Triple H or something like that for the world title. And then 4 weeks later, he's dancing with Tozawa. Like no joke. He turned into a serious killer to a dancer within like 4 months. It's ridiculous.
What about
They just don't know
gender?
how to. Well,
The
he went
summer
from a
of gender.
dancer. Yeah, he went from a dancer to a. Well, he went from a rocker to a champion, back to a rocker.
Yep.
Now fired. I don't know where he is anymore. How ironic would it be if
He's
Tony
probably
Khan
at
brought him in?
Wawa around the corner where I last saw him.
Seriously, how ironic would that be if Jinder came into AEW after all that controversy of like, you didn't deserve a title shot. You never won anything. And Jinder's like, whatever, fuck you. Remember that? Speaking of social media, so I was transitioning to Ricochet. Because we haven't talked in a while.
Yep.
Have you seen the heel turn? Anyone? Has anyone seen the heel turn on Dynamite?
Nope.
The actual heel turn or him since he turned heel? Because the actual heel turn, no. Him since he turned heel, yes.
Okay, let's go with that then. Justin saw it, so he did turn heel. He's crazy now. He's like I think he's gonna join the Hurts. He attacked us, Swerve. So anyway, Ricochet's actions on social media. You know why? First off, let me ask you this, Clutch. Why did you turn on Ricochet?
Why did I turn on Ricochet?
Just you as the wrestling person. Why did the wrestling fans turn on Ricochet? I want to know why, because I don't get it.
He's such a good in-ring like wrestler, but I just think he's so shit on the mic, and his like he never comes off as believable to me. And that's why like he had such a ceiling like on him in WWE, and like he wasn't gonna break past that because he just cannot do anything character wise.
But we all like were like, oh, give him a shot, give him a shot. He finally gets a shot over there, and like within 2 weeks, everyone, fuck this guy. Sorry, Bobby? Is it because he was going after people, telling people to suck his dick? Like literally, that was a quote. That's what he said. He told a person to suck my dick, and then he told another person, "That's why you had to work on Christmas, broke bitch," or whatever he called him. Sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Bobby. Is it because of his actions that he's turning heel? Or is it just because he was turning heel, so that's why he was doing that stuff on social media? No one ever thinks about that. Because we all saw the heel turn coming. It was slowly happening. And then on Wednesday night, it actually did happen when he destroyed Swerve. Or do you guys just think he's an asshole? Sorry, Bob.
It's probably part of the act, but it's just really bad. Like, it's just dull. It's not believable. I feel like for someone like him, who is as good as he is in the ring, he either should have a mouthpiece,
Okay.
or he should be in a tag team where he doesn't do the talking. So he either needs a manager or a tag partner, whatever gets him off the mic, because I think him being on the mic only hurts his character, whether he's face or he's heel, unless they turn him into a comedy act. That's going to be like the only way that he should be on the microphone, is him trying to make these insults, but they don't come off very serious. But
I mean,
for all the talent, I don't want to see him become a comedy act, but it's essentially what he's becoming, at least online, where he got roasted the other day by somebody.
I mean, was it roast? Did he get roasted? Do you consider that a roast? Clutch, did you see this? Was this a Christmas? You had to work on Christmas roast?
I didn't see it, no.
Okay, damn. He got into a fight with Chris. Is this the one where he got roasted? Where he's like, "That's why you had to work on Christmas," and the guy went back at him. I forgot what he said. Gosh, I wish I had it pulled up right here.
Yeah, something about something being off, just like my TV, which you're on it. I don't know. I don't remember all of it. It was a few weeks ago, but it was just he was trying to go at it with somebody on Twitter and he was losing that battle too. And that's on Twitter where you have time to sit and think. You're not live. So you have time to think about your response. And the best that he could come up with was not very good.
Well,
You
it
know,
was pretty
he
bad.
should have some better something better to say. But again, that's why he just needs someone speaking for him. He's really, really good in the ring, one of the best, and one of the worst on the microphone.
That's 1000% true. Man, we've been talking a lot of AEW tonight. We did focus more on the WWE going forward. We're going to do that moving forward because, like I said, SmackDown, it's all going to be on Peacock. Raw's going to be on Netflix. Chris is going to cancel YouTube TV. We're going to be a specifically WWE centered show going into WrestleMania season, which is going to be great. I actually cannot wait to watch these things with you, Chris, because me and Clutch have been enjoying the magic for the past year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been enjoying this for a very long time. I'm glad you're hopping back on it. If it sounds like I'm wrapping up, it's because it's already been about 50 minutes and
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun.
Listen, I got some breaking WWE news for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Right now. I know you're going to be excited. Try and contain your excitement. Charlotte Flair is expected back sooner than later after being out for almost a year now. She's going to be back real soon, just in time. Good job holding in your excitement there.
He's
Hold on,
about
hold on.
to just end the show right now.
I was gonna, you know what? It's fine. I actually on the show with Bobby, I predicted her to win the Royal Rumble, which made me sick. It made me
Yeah.
want to throw up, but I think she's gonna win the Rumble. I don't see anyone else winning the Rumble. I see her. Well, think about this. We can do it for about 5 minutes. Think about this. Rhea's gonna have that title going into WrestleMania. Who's gonna have it on the SmackDown side? Like right now, it's Nia Jax. Could easily be Tiffany Stratton, and Tiffy and Charlotte would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I hate Charlotte and I think she's dull, I think that would be a phenomenal match, and I'm here for that matchup. I think that match would be the best women's match you could possibly have, at least on the SmackDown side. Clutch, you agree? Disagree?
No, I agree. I think that might be the match you have. I don't think there's a bigger match on the women's SmackDown side than that.
No, and on the Raw side, I don't know where Bianca is, but I think it should be Bianca and Rhea, and I think Bianca should turn heel. I think it should be exposed that she attacked Jade, and I think she needs to turn heel, and I think she needs to face Rhea Ripley somehow, some way, and I think Charlotte needs to be a heel, and Tiffy is. When I made a joke about Corey Graves getting the biggest pop or the Ric Flair woos, Tiffy, when she grabbed that briefcase when I was there live on SmackDown, that was a massive pop. People want her to cash in so bad. And them teasing it like every show, people are dogging it like because we're watching it live. But if you're there, literally live in the arena, when she grabs that briefcase, you really think it's going to happen when you're there. I thought, like, holy crap, like there's no way, right? Oh yeah, there's no way. Like, Candace is going to stop her. So Tiffy is getting mega over as a babyface. And I think Charlotte is a perfect heel for this. Blondes, right? They're both robotic. They're both athletic. They both can do things in the ring. I think it'd be fun as hell. And I hate Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Hate.
Well, there you go. This helps push your story right now. She's going to be back. We've got a month to build up the Royal Rumble. It's the perfect time to bring her back.
Now we just need to get this title off of Nia Jax. Do you guys want to hear the biggest bathroom break of the night when I went to SmackDown? I'm not going to rant about SmackDown because that was 2 weeks ago, and I don't want to lose my voice. And let's just say this: I stayed to watch Sami Zayn's entrance, and then I left. Didn't even see Carmelo Hayes. He wrestled Carmelo Hayes. I left. I'm like, this is I was falling asleep. My son was actually falling asleep in the seat.
What time of the night was that at?
9:30. Sami Zayn came out at 9:30.
Okay. So you made an hour and a half into the show and then you were done.
No. We watched the speed matches. We watched the dark matches. So I for the first time ever, I watched WWE Speed live. It was great. It was Natalya versus Michin. Who do you guess won?
Natalia?
Natalya won.
I
And then
don't know who that other person is.
before that, we had Grayson Waller versus Apollo Crews. Who do you think won?
Not Apollo Crews.
Clutch, who do you think won?
Maybe Apollo. I don't know.
Apollo Crews won.
Really?
They're both from Tampa, so they will live here. So they got their like as
Still,
soon as they won, they hugged their families. Blah, woo, yeah, woo.
I don't remember like after the first 2 weeks of Apollo Crews being called up. I didn't know that he ever got to win another match ever.
I saw him win. And then after that, Titus O'Neil came out. What's up, Tampa? Hoo, 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 hoo. And then I'm like, that was the most hype we got. And then when SmackDown started, ding, ding, ding. This is a 6-women's tag match. I'm like,
For
it's
what?
gonna be this kind of fucking night. It's gonna be this kind of night. And then
That's how we opened up.
at 8:26 p.m. 1, 2, 3. I had to watch 26 minutes of a women's trios match. Shoot me in the head. I just wanted to leave at that point.
Was it story driven at all, or was it just whoever was around for the holidays?
There at the very end of the show, which I didn't watch, but I heard Kevin Owens and Cody had their confrontation, so I missed that entire thing. The whole ladder match that got set up, I didn't see any of that part. But that did get set up at my on my SmackDown. Is that correct, Clutch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that got set up on my SmackDown, but I left because I thought Sami Zayn and Carmelo were going to go the whole 30 minutes. I thought that was going to be a banger match because they can both go. So I figured they would do something, but I forgot Nick Aldis at the very beginning of the show said, Kevin Owens, you have until the end of the night. If I remembered that, I would have stayed. But my son was falling asleep. I was just furious that I spent so much money to watch this shit show. Chelsea Green's segment sucked. Like I expected so much more fun. Sorry, Clutch, if I'm just boring you at this point. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Are you going to be back next year for the annual Christmas SmackDown?
Nope.
No,
they also said in the email, doors open at 6 p.m. I get there at 6 p.m. WWE says we can't let any of you until 7. And it was hot as that night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was around Christmas time.
It was hot. So we're sitting out there in front of Amalie Arena for an hour trying to find something to do.
Yep.
The show starts at 8. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to complain no more. Not going to complain some more. Anyway, any last words from you guys?
No, I'm excited for Netflix, Raw Netflix era to start. Excited to be getting back into it, knowing the stories with you guys.
Tonight's going to be a good show. I heard Sami Uso is going to be on the show. I heard the Bloodline's going to be on the show, Clutch. So I'll be watching SmackDown. It starts in 4 minutes. If you have time, Chris, if you still have YouTube TV, I'd tune in for a little bit, see what's going on.
I will until after the Super Bowl. The minute the Super Bowl goes off, I'm canceling it.
All right. So, guys, we'll be back next week, hopefully with some good news, some good wrestling news, some Raw reactions, because we're all going to watch it live, and I'm stoked for it. Peace out.
See you.